You know that feeling?
What feeling, Mia?
That feeling when you want to say something important?
Yes, I know it. Maybe at work or maybe at a cafe.
Exactly. But then you pause.
The brain freezes.
The brain freezes because you are thinking, is this verb tense correct?
Oh, the internal grammar editor.
Yes. That little voice says, stop. You must be perfect.
And then the moment is gone.
Gone. You just stay silent, right? That is the biggest block for English learners.
It really is that fear of making a mistake.
So, we're talking about that today.
We are. Hi, everyone. I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia.
Welcome to the English Blend. This is where we talk about real English.
Real English for A2, B1, and B2 learners. We keep it natural and friendly.
Today's topic is super important, talking about mistakes in learning.
We want to show you that mistakes are totally fine. They are not the end of the world.
That phrase, not the end of the world, means it's not a big problem. It's manageable.
If you make a mistake, trust us. It is not the end of the world.
Nope. So grab your coffee, maybe your tea, and let's get started.
Let's start with a definition, a really key concept for language learning.
We need to talk about two words that sound similar but mean different things when we talk about English.
Fluency versus accuracy.
This is huge. Learners often confuse them or prioritize the wrong one.
Let's define accuracy first.
Accuracy means being correct. It's about using the right grammar, the perfect verb tenses, and the exact vocabulary.
It's the perfect score on a test. It's the rule book.
Right. If you are 100% accurate, every sentence is grammatically perfect.
Now let's talk about fluency. This is our focus today.
Fluency means being able to communicate smoothly. It's the flow of the conversation.
It means you can talk without long, awkward pauses. You can get your point across.
Wait, let's stop and explain that phrase, get your point across.
When you get your point across, it means the other person understands your main idea. The message is successful.
Even if you make a few small grammar mistakes, if the listener understands the key message, you have gotten your point across. Communication achieved.
Exactly. Imagine you are ordering coffee. You say, I want 2 large coffees, please, with milk.
That is clear. That is fluent communication.
Maybe a grammar expert says, but you should have used, I would like to order.
But the message was successful. The barista will give you 2 coffees.
That's the difference between prioritizing accuracy and prioritizing fluency.
For A2 and B1 level learners, and even B2 learners who are still building confidence, fluency must come first.
If you wait until you are 100% accurate, you will never speak.
Never. The internal editor will win every time.
We hear this from so many students. They say, I understand English perfectly, but I can't speak.
They are stuck in the grammar loop. They are prioritizing accuracy over fluency.
Why does grammar block fluency so much?
Because grammar requires real-time analysis. Your brain has to analyze the situation, choose the tense, check the conjugation, and then speak.
That takes too long. It slows the conversation down.
And when the conversation slows, you start to feel pressure.
Pressure leads to panic. Panic leads to silence.
It's a vicious cycle. We call it the perfection trap.
Think of it like driving a car. When you first learn, you focus on every tiny step. The clutch, the mirror, the gear shift.
You drive very slowly and carefully. That is high accuracy, low fluency.
But after practicing for years, you just drive. You don't think about the clutch anymore. It's automatic.
That is high fluency. You might occasionally miss a signal or brake a little too fast, but you still arrive at your destination. You still get your point across.
So our main advice for the main discussion is this. Treat speaking like driving, not like a test. Let go of the need for perfect grammar right now. Focus on flow and meaning.
We often see this when people try to use complex vocabulary too early. They memorize a fantastic advanced word, but then they struggle to fit it into a simple sentence with the correct conjugation.
Stick to the simple words that let you communicate fast. Your goal is communication, not showing off vocabulary.
I remember a time when I was traveling, and this really hit home. It's a short story, but it shows the power of simple, fluent communication.
Tell us, Leo. We love a good story.
Okay, so I was in Germany a few years ago. My German is terrible, truly A1 level, maybe lower.
So you were the language learner. You were in the learner's shoes.
Completely. I needed to find the train station. I knew the word for train station, which is Bahnhof.
Good start. That's essential vocabulary.
But I didn't know how to form a perfect, polite question. I couldn't remember the dative case or the formal politeness structure.
The grammar editor was screaming.
It was yelling. I stood there for a minute, panicking. Then I just thought, I need to get my point across.
What did you say?
I walked up to a woman and pointed vaguely and said, "Excuse me? Bahnhof? Where?"
Short, simple, grammatically imperfect.
Absolutely imperfect. But she immediately smiled, pointed down the street, and said, "Dort," meaning there.
Success. You reached your goal.
That is the perfect example. My accuracy was maybe 10%, but my fluency, my ability to quickly communicate my need, was 100%.
She didn't correct your grammar. She didn't give you a lecture on German syntax. She just understood the core message.
That's how real life works. People want to help you. They don't want to grade your speech.
So if you feel like you are chasing perfection, that you might hit a wall, we need to talk about that phrase.
When you hit a wall, it means you reach a point where you cannot make any more progress. You are completely stuck.
Many learners hit a wall around the B1, B2 level because they switch their focus too much to small grammar rules instead of overall communication.
When you hit a wall, you need practical steps to jump over it.
Let's move on to the practical section. We have 3 great tips for you today.
These tips help you build fluency without worrying about accuracy first.
Tip number 1, focus on massive listening.
This might sound strange for a speaking problem. Why listen if you want to speak?
Because your brain needs input. Think of your brain like a reservoir. You need to pump water into the reservoir before you can use it.
The water is English language exposure. Podcasts, TV shows, YouTube, movies.
Don't worry about understanding every single word. Listen to things that are just slightly above your level, like B1 or B2 materials.
The goal is to get used to the rhythm and the flow. Get used to the sound of fluent English.
If you are always listening to perfect, slow textbook English, your speaking will sound like that too, slow and careful.
When you listen massively, your brain subconsciously starts recognizing patterns. You start learning structure naturally.
It's like immersion. Even if you are just sitting on the bus or making dinner, this builds unconscious fluency.
Now, tip number 2, learn in chunks.
What do we mean by chunks, Leo?
A chunk is a group of words that naturally go together. It's not just a single word.
For example, don't just learn the word time. Learn the chunk, what time is it? Or, in my free time.
Or instead of learning sorry and late, learn the chunk, I am sorry I am late.
The brain stores these chunks as one unit. This bypasses the grammar check.
Because you have already practiced the whole unit, you don't have to construct it word by word with grammar rules. It's instant language. It's language you can use immediately and fluently.
Think about your native language. You don't build every sentence from scratch. You use ready-made phrases for common situations. Start identifying these chunks in your massive listening. Write them down. Use them often. Even simple things like responding to a question at work. Don't just learn, I agree. Learn the chunk, that's a really good point.
Using chunks is a huge accelerator for fluency.
It makes conversation feel much more natural.
And finally, tip number 3, the 3-second rule. This is our favorite practical tip for forcing yourself past that grammar editor.
The 3-second rule is simple. When you are speaking, if you pause for longer than 3 seconds because you are searching for the perfect word or the perfect tense,
You must say something.
anything, even if it's wrong, just push the words out.
You can use a filler word like or or right, or just the closest word you can find.
The goal is to keep the air moving, to maintain fluency.
Remember, our goal, fluency, equals communication, not perfection. The listener would rather hear an imperfect sentence than 5 seconds of silence.
The silence is what makes the communication break down.
If you are at work and trying to explain a project, and you stop for 10 seconds trying to remember the past perfect continuous tense,
Your colleague will think, did they finish the sentence? Are they okay?
but if you say, I talked to the client yesterday, and we decide.
The listener has the information. They understood you spoke to the client. You got your point across.
The grammar was a little messy, but the communication was fluent and successful.
This rule forces you to accept imperfection. It trains your brain to prioritize communication.
Let's add a quick bonus tip. Tip 4, record yourself.
Ugh, I hate listening to my own voice.
Everyone does, but it's fantastic feedback. Just open your phone's voice recorder, talk about your day for 60 seconds.
Don't edit or stop. Just talk fluently.
Then listen back. You will hear where you pause. You will see where your grammar is actually pretty good.
And you will realize that even when you make mistakes, you are still understandable. It takes away the mystery of speaking.
It makes the learning practical and measurable.
So, to summarize the tips, massive listening, learn in chunks, the 3-second rule, and recording yourself.
Perfect. Now let's talk a little more about those key phrases we introduced. They are useful for any conversation. We talked about get your point across.
This is often used when discussing difficult or confusing communication.
For example, it took me 5 minutes, but I finally got my point across to my boss about the meeting time.
The focus is on the successful delivery of the message, not the beauty of the language.
We also discussed the feeling of being stuck, which is to hit a wall. If you are feeling frustrated with your studies, you might say, I feel like I'm studying every day, but I've hit a wall.
It's a very common feeling when learning anything difficult, especially language. It means you need a change in strategy. Maybe try our 3-second rule when you hit a wall.
Or maybe just take a break. That helps too.
And the phrase we started with, the attitude toward mistakes. It's not the end of the world.
If you use the wrong pronoun, if you mix up he and she, it's not the end of the world.
If you forget the word refrigerator and you say the big cold box instead, it's not the end of the world. The listener knows what you mean.
Use this phrase to remind yourself that stakes are low when you are communicating. Most people are very supportive.
If you apply these phrases and tips, you will find your confidence starting to grow.
Because confidence comes from successful communication, which is fluency, not from perfect grammar, which is accuracy.
Think about the difference. If you focus too much on accuracy, you stop talking.
If you focus on fluency, you keep talking, and through that talking, your accuracy slowly improves.
That's how we learned our first language, right? We just spoke and made a million mistakes.
No one corrected every single one of our early sentences. They focused on the communication.
We want you to treat English the same way now. Give yourself permission to make mistakes.
Let the mistakes happen. They are necessary for growth. They show you where to focus your study later.
If you notice you always mix up past tense verbs, great. Now you know exactly what grammar point to study tomorrow.
But don't let the fear of that one mistake stop your conversation today.
Use the simple language you have. Use those chunks. And remember the 3-second rule.
We hope this helps everyone listening who feels nervous about speaking.
Start speaking today. Maybe use your phone to record a quick message to yourself. Practice one of those chunks.
Focus on one small step at a time. Your English journey is about progress, not perfection.
Progress is messy. It involves errors, and not is okay. Remember, it's not the end of the world.
Thank you so much for joining us on the English Blend today. We love having these conversations with you.
We do. We hope you feel a little less pressured now when you speak.
Next week, we're going to dive into how to manage English in a work environment.
We'll talk about professional emails and common phrases you need in the office, so definitely tune in for that.
That was a great talk.
Yes, see you in the next episode of The English Blend.